Hello, everyone. Welcome back to InugamiTheHound. I'm doing once again some more reaction stream. I didn't feel like playing more Oblivion. I played so much of it, so I'm gonna take a little break from it. Alright, let's see. Let's see. What is this? Nintendo Switch pre-order disaster? That's been a huge. Let's see. Let's.
It's not fair! Fair? Who's the fucking nihilist around here, you bunch of fucking crybabies?
For nearly 10 years on this platform, I've told people steer clear of supporting exclusivity. Exclusivity's anti-consumer. It doesn't benefit you. It's only good for corporations. But then the console fanboy pride kicks in and people say, no, I love my exclusivity. It defines my platform. It gives me a reason to justify my $500 purchase. Shut up. Go back to
$500 purchase. It's no longer $500, man. That shit's like $600, $700 now for these consoles, which is sad because these consoles should be going down. Because I remember PlayStation 1 going down, N64 going down, Dreamcast going down, PS2, Xbox, GameCube, PS3, Xbox 360, even the Xbox One and PS4 all went down in price. By the time the new consoles came out, they were like $100 to $200 cheaper. You can get that game console for real cheap. You can get all the games for it real cheap. It was easy to go to GameStop, EB Games. There's only Toys R Us, Walmart, whatever, and buy those games for cheap. But not anymore. No, with the new consoles, unfortunately, with the PS5 and Xbox One. I mean, the Switch went down a little bit, but like I don't know, but Switch 2 is really expensive, so I'm like, no, it's gonna go expensive. So Switch 2, Xbox Series X and S, and now PS5, PS5 Pro are just too ridiculously expensive. No game console should cost $500. If anybody remembers, everyone shits on Xbox, $500 Xbox One console with always online, but people forgot about PS3. You need it was like I forgot what was I don't think was it Ken Kutaragi or Yoshida or someone that I can't remember. It says like you should be honored to getting 2-3 jobs and buy yourself a PS3. And I mean, for the longest time the PS3 had no exclusives. I mean, they had some exclusives, but none of them sold consoles. Not even Metal Gear Solid. It was 2009, and it was Uncharted 2 that saved that game console. That movie-like game with decent gameplay, and most importantly, very good multiplayer. Like that game had really good. I think that one and like The Last of Us, like the two games I remember on the PS3 that had really good multiplayer support for like the longest time. It lasted more than like 5 seconds. Unlike the Xbox 360, which had amazing multiplayer support, where you played Gears of War, Halo, Forza, you played any Call of Duty game, it was there.
mowing lawns. Well, they say that last part now.
It's because you're Mexican.
But before, they would just throw a slur word and tell me to f off. The truth is, exclusivity is what's created this toxic console fanboy mentality. If there was no exclusivity, I don't know what these guys would be arguing. Most of them would probably have to look for an actual hobby or finally discover who they really are. And that would be no fun, because Twitter banter is their hobby, and they don't want that taken away from them. So of course, they're here to protect exclusivity. That is, until exclusivity backfires, which we have a prime example of today. Now, before we get into that topic, I just want to remind you, we are right at the edge of 80K subs, and you can make this little popsicle sticks dreams come true and not just be memes. After that, we're on the road to 100K. Anyways, let's dive into the topic. Warhammer 40K Space Marine Master Crafted Edition, that's quite the name, announced for PC/Xbox and day one Xbox Game Pass. Enhanced for new generation, 4K resolution, modernized control, interface overhaul, improved character models, remastered audio. Hold on, wait. There's no PS5 version?
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful. How terrible! Oh no!
What? Why? Of all the systems out there, don't you figure the PS5 Pro could really benefit from something like this? I mean, PS5 Pro owners, yes, they're annoying, but I'm not gonna argue that they don't deserve to have this as well, especially since they have the PS5 Pro. And that's where most people would want to see this, right?
Wrong!
What a strange update to be skipping the PS5. You absolutely know Microsoft paid for that to happen. What we're witnessing here is timed exclusivity from Microsoft yet again. It should go without saying that this is anti-consumer, and it's blatantly done to slight PlayStation. And that's exactly why I say exclusivity is bad. I mean, at this point though, I've given up on spreading the message. You're not gonna listen. This is entirely unnecessary, and it shouldn't be happening. But seeing as how big of assholes you guys were to me when I told you that this isn't good for consumers, I'm gonna go ahead and skim through all the comments of the salty PlayStation fanboys who are pissed that their own philosophy of exclusivity defines a system is now being turned against them. And
Yeah, I mean, exclusivity was good back in the day, but I felt like after like the 360 generation, where you need to sell like millions upon millions of units, it's very hard to be exclusive and sell millions upon millions of units. Unless you're a sports game or a racing game, then you can sell millions of units. You know, Need for Speed, Forza, Gran Turismo. I don't know if we still have Madden. I know FIFA is now a football club, and then you have college, you have EA Sports college football, but you need to sell millions of units. And only those games will sell millions of units because there are millions upon millions of people who will buy that game. Not many people are gonna be buying, God of War, Gears of War, Halo, The Last of Us, Fallout, Oblivion, Skyrim, Clay Obscur. I mean, people will play it, but not buy it. And that's the thing, man. That's the thing.
they want to cry. They want to act like they are victims when they're the first ones to celebrate when things skip Xbox or Nintendo or PC. And here we are. They are the only ones missing out. Now, many want to argue that this is going to just add value to Game Pass, but my argument to that is Game Pass's value is inherent. They don't need to lock this update.
BRB.
in order for Game Pass to be more appealing. Not having to pay full price is already the benefit of Game Pass. So this should absolutely be on PlayStation. I know that's not a popular opinion for some of you listening to me, but I am more anti-exclusive than I am anti-Sony. That being said, I'm an addict of my own product, salt. So that's right. We're taking a little break from red salt and we're sprinkling the good old-fashioned blue salt. Here we go.
Like, how many weeks has he been snorting like Nintendo salt, my friend? Can you please?
Xbox Buddy had it a game. Where's the outrage?
Fuck
Why
you.
did you ask for it?
Oh, bitch, shut up! Now you want outrage? Now you want people to speak up? No, you got no right to be asking anything out of anyone. Your bitch ass is out here 24/7 on Twitter. I've never seen you go 1 hour without tweeting either. Constantly talking shit when things don't go on Xbox. And here you are trying to complain about money heading? This same guy went on to call Black Myth Wukong a PlayStation exclusive because there was no Xbox version. And now he wants to complain.
Where is Black Myth Wukong? It was supposed to come out on Xbox. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen Final Fantasy 16, and we haven't seen Final Fantasy 7. Can Sony stop money hatting those games and let those games finally come on, you know, the Xbox consoles like they're supposed to? Let me look that up, man. Fucking assholes, man. Let's see. Black Myth Xbox. Really? He's saying, oh, I can't do it because the Xbox Series S? Then just make it exclusive to the Xbox Series X. Go fuck yourself. Alright. With Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 16 Xbox. When is this supposed to come out? Rumors suggested it was first half of 2025, possibly around the spring. Dude, it's fucking summer. It still hasn't come out. Unless they're at the fucking Xbox game show or the summer isn't there like something coming out this Friday or something? The summer thing. God, what was that? Summer's Game Fest. There you go. That's supposed to be this Friday. Maybe it might come out then. I don't know.
Now he wants people to speak up. Yeah, no, shut the f. Fuck up. You're one of those losers who lived his entire life on the first page of a Google search. Not only that, but you're this one jackass who's on Twitter 24/7 posting about how Microsoft ruined Doom the Dark Ages, really thinking that we should listen to you, bitch. The opinion of some jackass who was hyping up Concord and praising it right up until it got shut down doesn't matter, all right? Your opinion is irrelevant. If you liked Concord and you shilled for it, nobody needs to be listening to you. Morons like you who don't give equal energy out cannot be demanding the same energy. It's all fun and games until his precious PS5 doesn't get to play with the other systems. This dude will get off on other people missing out, but when he misses out, it's the end of the world, and he must be made the center of attention, and everybody must be there to defend Sony. They really want a world where Sony can lock other platforms from getting certain games and updates, but don't want anybody else to do the same to precious Sony because they don't deserve it. When the reality is not a single.
Don't forget, I think I should look up his videos. Has he talked about the Nintendo Switch bricking consoles and it has to be connected online all the time?
Platform
Yeah,
owner
I need to look that
of
up.
any system deserves this. And for that attitude alone, I'm gonna go ahead and give everybody here permission to
Point and laugh.
all right, this next one's gonna need a beer. Sorry, but
Yeah.
is this one of the sleazy timed exclusivity deals Phil Spencer warned about? So yeah, I'm just one of those guys that doesn't.
What are we watching? Well, I'm just reacting to this guy talk about Sony fanboys, being trolled because the new Warhammer game is being exclusive to PC and Xbox, and they're not happy about it. They're happy when they get an exclusive game, but not when others do it. Like not whether it be the Switch or Xbox or PC. They're not very happy about that. Yeah, it is fucking assholes.
Doesn't need AA. I just need fanboys to stop existing, and there will be no need for my drinking habits. I think that's why they exist. They are here to try and see if I'm going to overdo it on the booze one day, hoping good old Padre Frit kicks the bucket one day. Now, I believe Microsoft did pay for this.
I thought you were gonna OD on pony salt, not beer.
I have no
Point and
proof
laugh,
of
yes.
that, but I'm assuming it. For all we know, it could be one of those situations where this thing probably.
This is the first time in a very long time we had some pony salt. For the longest time we've had, mostly past month or two, has been mostly what you call it, Nintendo salt. People trying to justify, the Switch 2 price tag, always online, $90, physical games, trying to sell you the same game again, for like $50, $60, I don't know, or more. Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have existed at all if it didn't get Microsoft's funding. Much like with Stalker 2, that console port wouldn't have existed if they didn't pay for it. Or it could just be that the developers just couldn't get the PS5 version done. Either way, there should be no complaining from the PlayStation side. Zero. PlayStation thrives off of denying other platforms access to games. And it's cheered on. It's celebrated, not just by the fandom, but by the games media as well.
No, I would not pay $80 for a game. Unless it's like some type of like collector's edition, then sure. But it's not a collector's edition. So no, I'm not gonna pay $80 for a base game. That's why, and that's why I have, that's why I use, Xbox, Game Pass. That's why I wait for game sales. If I try to buy it physically or digitally, try to get it for cheap, or if I can borrow the game from someone.
Remember how the games media lost their shit when Tomb Raider was a timed exclusive for Xbox years ago? And not a single one of these guys are complaining when Bloodborne was made exclusive for PlayStation. Yeah, the double standards will continue to exist because there's a lot of favoritism for PlayStation. And we're witnessing it right now in real time. The minute it's reversed on them, they act like they're entitled to everything. And you know what? Honestly, purchasing a gaming platform should be more than enough, in my opinion, and anyone who has any gaming platform should have access to as many games out there as possible, within reasonable limitations, of course. But like I said, these guys don't view it that way. They want Sony to have everything and everybody else to have nothing, because that is what gives them their dopamine rush. That's what gives them a superiority complex, and I love seeing that stripped away from them. Look how they squirm. Look how they cry. Look how they bitch. Look how they whine. Based on PlayStation fanboy logic alone, you should be rooting and cheering for this. You should be going and buying an Xbox, right? That's how that works. Instead, we're greeted with a bunch of whining and bitching and a sudden care about double standards. The feeling of missing out is only funny when the people who bought the console you don't like have that happen to them. But when you miss out, money-hatting Microsoft, hypocritical Microsoft, how dare they? Even though it's what you've asked out of them. nonstop this whole generation. But you know what's even funnier than random nobodies on Twitter being upset about this? Entire gaming publications like Kotaku, who are bitching and whining about it as well in this article. Strangely, the surprise remaster seems to be skipping the PS5. If the game's first trailer is any indication, instead it will arrive on day one on Game Pass. Not sure what's going on here. I assume eventually the remaster will get a PS5 port, but for now, it seems to be an Xbox console exclusive. In a world where Forza, Gears of War on PlayStation, this seems really silly.
Shut your bitch ass up!
I love it. I love it. Oh, the publication that glazes up Sony so hard for locking content away from other people cannot fathom the same happening to PlayStation in return. It's great. I love it. Seeing the double standards at play here is just too entertaining. The preferential treatment one company gets over the other, and the one time there's one piece of content locked away, they throw a hissy fit. I love how the only time this publication can see the negativity that comes with exclusivity is when dear old PlayStation misses out. Really makes you wonder, doesn't it? You know the reason for this is because the majority of Kotaku journalists probably all play on PS5s, and that's how they were hoping to review this. And since there is no PS5 version as far as we know, for now, they don't get their review out, and they're spiteful towards Microsoft because of it. You know the PlayStation publications are extra pissed off too. Doesn't feel so good, does it? Whew, what a buzz that line of Kotaku salt really got me. I mean, I don't think a single PlayStation fanboy tweet is gonna be able to top that. Or is it? Warhammer 40k Space Marine Remaster misses out on PS5 for some reason. Exclusive to Xbox and PC.
Wah! Wah! You like that? Huh? You like that? Wah!
That's how I feel sometimes, man. That's how I feel sometimes at work with those stupid, annoying ass kids screaming their heads off. I just want to scream back at them, just like Brian.
And along comes Push Square. Oh, the PlayStation publication being angry. Oh, so good. It's so good. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I don't even pray to you, but thank you. Oh, give me a second. Oh, that hit. Oh, nearly took my heart out. Wait, what do you mean there's more? There's more? However, it would appear that the remaster won't be coming to the PS5, whose logo was missing from its reveal trailer, which premiered during Warhammer Skulls 2025. The 82-second video only ends with the promise of Space Marine launching on Xbox Series X and S and PC via both Steam and Epic Games Store on June 10th. That's what's wrong.
Well, I'm glad it's coming to Steam and Epic Games. It's not exclusive just to Epic Games because those PC exclusive Epic Games deals do not work very well.
Game Rat. They're still holding out hope too. Well, look, I actually hope it does come to PS5 because imagine having a $700 console that doesn't have an enhanced version of this game. That would be stupid. But believe me, ain't no developer intentionally missing out on PS5. Some deal is in place for sure. Because I don't know a single dev who is eager not to release on PS5. Everybody wants to release on PS5, even Xbox. Again, my best guess is to give more incentive for people to go to Game Pass because they're gonna be charging you for this, and it's a 15-year-old game that should just be getting a free update. So shame on them for that, but that's the whole point. They want you to look at Game Pass and be like, why buy this? And that strategy has been working quite effectively. Instead of buying Doom and Expedition 33, I've been putting time into those games on Game Pass, like a lot of people are starting to. It's definitely some deal Microsoft struck for that reason and that reason alone. With the ever-increasing prices of video games and remasters and remakes that are a blatant ripoff, Game Pass just seems like the best way to have access to a lot of this type of content. It is amazing though to see websites like this not complain about Final Fantasy VII Remake being locked to PlayStation, PC, and Nintendo and never having an Xbox version. But the minute there isn't a PS5 version, all hell breaks loose. I'm not saying these people are entitled, because I don't believe anybody who wants to play a game that isn't on their platform is entitled. I believe they have the right mindset, but that's not how they view it for all platforms. That's solely how they view it for one console. Keep in mind, these are practices that the industry has encouraged Sony to do for years and has given backlash to Microsoft for. Never forget how every journalist site treated the whole ABK merger and how they all had a meltdown and were freaking out over the possibility of COD being exclusive, or any Activision IP, or any Bethesda IP for that matter. I don't know if Sony has them lined up in their pockets, but the way these guys put out articles, it certainly seems so. Enter the grim darkness of the far future. Warhammer 40k Space Marine Mastercrafted Edition releases June.
Yeah, I remember that. In my opinion, I wish Microsoft would have made some of those games exclusive, like Crash Bandicoot, and you have Links to Time Sweeper, Spyro. You can make some of those games exclusive, maybe not permanent exclusives, but a 1-year exclusive.
10th on PC, Game Pass, and Xbox Series X and S. PS5. That's so bad. Yes. Look at him. Look how they squirm. I love it. Everybody's just clowning on him. In general, everybody's clowning on PlayStation, guys. On every post related to this, where they're asking for a PS5 version. Why is that, you're wondering? Well, you don't have to guess for too long. It's obviously because PlayStation fanboys have built a horrible reputation for themselves where they can dish it out, but they can't take it. So now everybody's jumping on board, telling them to cry more, and they have no one to blame but themselves for that one. No, thank you. I'm quite happy with my PS3 copy. Oh, yeah, sure.
Jeez, what a little crybaby. You gonna cry all day, crybaby?
You know, everyone has problems. It doesn't mean you have to be a little crybaby about it.
Come on, guys, let's go. This kid is totally not cool.
Yeah, that's the most uncool kid I've ever met.
Little crybaby. No, wait!
Sure, you bought your brand new PS5. Do not have these experiences enhanced. Sure. Oh, that cope. That amazing, delicious cope. Just slurp it up. Oh, yes. Imagine pretending to be okay with playing a pre-HD, below 30 FPS version of that game. Skipping a console market leader is definitely a head scratcher. You know what's a bigger head scratcher? When developers skip out on PC. That's a bigger head scratcher than missing out on PS5, but either way, I'll take the salt. I'll take it. My God, I could sit here and read every single whiny comment in this thread, but then this video would be an hour long. There is so much salt here. It's amazing how 1 minute they can cheer on what is blatantly anti-consumerism, and in the next minute point out how anti-consumer it is. Only when it happens to them. And that's why I want it to happen more, until they get it and they finally get on board with the idea of getting rid of exclusivity, because it's a toxic practice. Of course PlayStation gamers should be playing this. Of course they should have access day one. It's ridiculous it's not there. It's even better seeing how it's publications and fanboys alike all whining together in harmony. It's like music to my ears. You get what you fucking deserve. Don't like it? Stop supporting this practice. Stop cheering it on. Nobody wins when this happens. Well, except for the viewer, of course, because then you guys are tuning in to some of the best content you can get on this website. So, for that reason alone, like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. That being said, I'll see you all in the next one.
Fritongo sucks ass.
Alright now. Now some good Sony pony salts. Let's see. Nintendo Switch pre-orders too. 5 bricks on its console. Let's see. This one? You need to be always online. What is it?
80,000 subs, huh? You know what that means? It's time to moan along. Fucking hell, oh, yeah, lawn. What the hell am I doing? 80,000 subs. By God, we actually did it.
We? Who's we?
We actually hit 80,000 subs. I'm not even lying to you when I say I never thought in my life that this channel would get that far. I didn't think when I put my voice out there online, 80,000 people were gonna say, okay, let's turn this YouTuber into our landscaper, cause he's Mexican. See, you know, my original goal was for people to sub to me because they loved me. And now everybody in my personal life is saying, well, you wouldn't have gotten this far if you didn't promise to become a landscaper. And, you know, they're probably right, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I got 80K subs and you don't, bitch. When I get that silver play button, you bet your ass I am going to rub it in your face. Unfortunately, I'm not really good at this mushy gushy stuff where I opened up my... So, while I'm happy, we're getting him arrested by ICE. Let's get him into the cartel next. God knows we're slightly overrated, but my real hatred of Nintendo comes from exactly how the company operates. And every action of theirs leading up to the release of the Switch 2 has made me all the more confident in my decision to not go through with purchasing one and supporting Nintendo. But let's just theoretically say
So 2 more days, which will be Thursday.
have no standards and no principles and follow through with purchasing this device. My disappointment would be immeasurable and my day would be ruined. Backwards compatibility is crucial for a system like this. And it turns out that backwards compatibility is real dodgy, as we have an official list of how many games and which ones may give you trouble on the Switch 2 the day of purchase if you're planning to try and play your old games on this. What's more is this is actually old news, but as of last night, we got an updated list that adds more games. And some of the titles that show up here leave you wondering, what about the Switch 2? It's so vastly different that such compatibility issues even exist. Nintendo Switch 2 games on Switch 2.
That's crazy. That's crazy that there's so many games from the Switch will not be compatible with the Switch 2. How's that happen? They're literally almost exactly the same thing. One's a little bit better than the other. And you still have to download cartridge things. What the fuck, man? What's wrong with that? So many games.
To compatible list has updated today. Games with startup issues, playable but have some in-game compat issues, games with issues that are planned to be addressed by launch or shortly after. My God, and to think there's a list of hundreds of games with this issue, and all these exact same Nintendo fanboys are out here mocking the Steam Deck and its users because of compatibility issues. Hilarious how that works. You'd figure consoles are supposed to work with everything out of the box, but I guess not. NBA 2K18. Look at that, the normie title having issues on the normie device. That's not supposed to be happening. I mean, I could understand indie and AA games having issues, but the AAA sphere should have this covered by now. You know, maybe if Nintendo didn't have that stupid update that bricked the device days before launch, more people could test these games out, because this is just a list provided to you. But I could imagine once the update goes live and everybody tries out the Switch 2, it's gonna be a lot longer of a list. Rocket League. Rocket League.
Bus Simulator.
Not being able to boot up day one on your Switch 2.
Boxing,
okay.
Fortnite.
Surprisingly, that game still has a lot of people playing it years later. Plants vs. Zombies. Well, that's EA. EA having compatibility issues in general is quite common. Warframe. But here's it years later. Switch 2, okay? Surprisingly, that game still has a lot of people. Rocket League. Not being able to boot up day one on your Switch 2, okay? Surprisingly, that game still has a lot of people playing it years later. Plants vs. Zombies. Well, that's EA. EA having compatibility issues in general is quite common. Warframe. But here's the big one that's gonna make you laugh. It's not a game, but it's still listed here. YouTube. That's right. YouTube will not work day one. Or at least it will be addressed as soon as possible.
Tower.
Which is hilarious because I remember
Parents
the first
vs.
Switch
Kids, Star
didn't even
Wars,
have YouTube
Dark Forces
or Netflix or
Remastered.
any basic application
Jackbox
that's
games,
commonplace
wow.
with any piece of hardware. So if you want to YouTube how to fix
So many things are not working And apparently YouTube does not work on the Switch too, which makes no sense. What is wrong with these consoles? I mean, like, I think Xbox is the only one that it's like works, but unfortunately it kind of lacks on exclusives. The PlayStation 5 is just a big fucking nothing, and the Switch 2 looks like a complete total disaster. What the fuck is wrong with these things?
Things, good luck. That ain't gonna be on your Switch day one. And, you know, of course, there's a bunch of other titles here too. Too many for me to say individually, but I didn't think Dead by Daylight would be one of them. Hell, I didn't even know that existed on the Switch, to be honest. Wolfenstein 2. That's interesting. To be real with you, these are not games I would ever dare myself to play on the go. You know, these are all titles I would like to sit at the comfort of my own home and play, so to me, it wouldn't really be that big of a deal. But now we move on to the playable list. That's games that are playable, sort of, not entirely. You may not be able to actually do certain things in them. And this one is a lot more interesting. Alan Wake Remastered, Alien Isolation, Tetris. Can't get Tetris to
Hitman
work
3.
as it should day one, I guess.
Fall
Factorio.
Guys.
It's actually a really good game. You guys should get
What? Dusk and Elysium Tale, one of the best games, one of the best furry games of all time, is not gonna work.
that one a try. Fall Guys, Hitman 3, Just Dance. They still make Just Dance? I didn't even know that. Mega Man Legacy Collection. How do you not have Mega Man working properly day one? It's Mega Man. That mascot is synonymous with Nintendo platforms, even though it's not a Nintendo exclusive. That's a crime right there. I can play a Mega Man collection on a Raspberry Pi, held together by glue and tape. How the hell is the $500 console?
Street Fighter Anniversary Collection.
Saints Row 4. Honestly, they're doing you a favor on that one. I would honestly mail Nintendo and tell them thank you for making sure that one doesn't work on the Switch too. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection? That has compatibility issues? Again, a lot of these games I could get to run on emulators smaller than a vape pen. So, you know, they're...
Oh my god. Dusk. An Elysium Tale. Let's see. Oh, Metrovania. That's what it's called. Yes, one of the best, you know. There you go. Hopefully for Tenga and others will read my
listing that
comments.
these games are playable to an extent. Now, these aren't end of the world titles, of course. There's plenty more titles on the Switch too that you'll be able to play just fine. But, you know, if these titles are some that you did want to play on the device, I'm just letting you know ahead of time. All right, and then we have a list of games with issues that are planning to be addressed by launch or shortly after. One of those being Doom Eternal,
Ace.
Fortnite. Oh, they're
7.
planning a Switch 2 version. Why not just port the standard Switch version over? That's strange because, you know, Fortnite is basically a standard gaming app. NBA 2K25. That one's understandable. I'm pretty sure they didn't even plan on that ever happening, so that's not a surprise. Pizza Tower? How dare they? Oh, the bastards. They better get Pizza Tower running on this thing. Easily one of the best platformers in the last decade. Play Pizza
Korean
Tower.
drone
Seriously. That
flying?
not being on the Switch
Mexican
2 would make me not
brain
get one by default,
coming
because that
gold?
would be one of my most played
Monster
games
Energy
on that
Supercross?
device. And those are about the most notable titles. All in all, though, this makes up not even 0.1% of Switch games, or Switch 2 titles. There's still far more that are going to work day one, well, we assume are going to work day one. This is a list of what has been confirmed so far.
String
and I've scrolled
Sports,
through it
World of
slowly
Tanks,
so you
Blitz.
guys can see and notice if there's anything you're going to be.
I mean, that's all I game. Oh, let's see. Super Mega Baseball, Jackbox Party 1 and 2. What the fuck? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You can't fix that shit. What the fuck? That's embarrassing.
Be missing out on. I doubt it. I don't think most of these titles are gonna make or break whether people decide to play on this. Let's keep in mind this is not a Nintendo only issue. Lots of consoles leading up to their launch will oftentimes have a lot of compatibility issues, and it takes time for certain things to work the way they're supposed to. So in that sense, Nintendo isn't a bad guy here. This is just the nature of a brand new console launch. But it's important to know which ones are gonna work and which ones aren't. Not that that'll stop anybody's purchasing decision, because believe me, these are not titles people are buying a Switch 2 for. And you know, what's more, it's actually a very good thing we have an official list out for these very issues alone. That doesn't change the fact though that Nintendo has made the same mistake they made over like 8 years ago with not having YouTube on this device functioning day one. At the very least they listened, you know, they have game chat day one. Not free, so makes you wonder how long it's going to take for individual support for all applications to arrive. I usually expect most apps to work day one, but you know, Nintendo's like the one platform that can get away with not having voice chat or a web browser on their console. Makes me realize how good I have it on PC. Hell, even with the Steam Deck alone. Specifically on PC though, if I choose to just go build another PC, all my PC games are guaranteed to function as intended no matter what new system I build. Of course, if I don't build a potato rig. In general, it's kind of weird how much more interactions and usage I can get out of my PC in offline mode and how much access I have to games even in offline mode than that compared to the Switch. Then again though, that is not a fair comparison whatsoever, but you know me, always inserting my 2 cents on why PC gaming is better than your trash consoles. With that being said, like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. Thank you for getting me to 80K. I can't sing your praises enough, so I'll let
Let's see. Sony finding bricks on Switch 2. Nintendo fanboys defend Switch right to brick your console. Which one of these I know they had to talk about the always online thing. Come on.
Sorry, I was just vibing. You know that song by Sublime, turning adults into children? I would never fight to the death over one of these tablets. I mean, I wouldn't mind having one for the channel to report on things, but do you really need a Switch to talk about Nintendo? If you have a Steam Deck, you basically have a Nintendo Switch. If you sail the high seas, of course. Just a quick reminder that this video is brought to you in part by Frittata's Lawn Service. We are less than 200 subs away from the magic 80K, the number that will change my life forever, and not for the better.
I mean, like, the gaming landscape has changed so much. Ooh, the Switch 2 not back with the panel. Big letdown. Well, there's a list that tells you what it's not compatible with, which ones are compatible but may have some problems, and they also mentioned they'll need a patch day one or a patch will come later down the line. One of the biggest applications on the Switch 2 that is not backwards compatible is the YouTube. That's right. YouTube won't work on your Switch 2. It'll need a patch. And I remember, and recently we just found out about the Switch 2. The Switch 2, you need an online connection to make sure you need access to games and all that, and like it's always online and all this shit. And the crazy thing is that was exactly what Xbox One did. I mean, Xbox One had the always online thing, the online check on DRM, It unfortunately did have the no used games. They walked that back. But they have the console, the movie. Also, you can also replace your cable box with the original Xbox One. I mean, I did that. Yeah, well, the general public's really stupid and dumb. They don't know how to pay attention to this stuff. But I remember, like the Switch 2 is giving me early Xbox One vibes, which was sad because the Xbox One was a decent console. Unfortunately, I'm glad they got rid of the always online DRM. They let us buy used games and stuff like that. What else is there? Unfortunately, it only sold like 59 million consoles, while the PS4 sold over 100 million. The Xbox One fixed all the problems with. I mean, the Xbox One S and X fixed pretty much all the problems. The only thing Xbox always had problems with was its like exclusives. But this year, I feel like this console has way more exclusives, and we're also getting way more Japanese games than before. Like I went to Best Buy. I mean, I can look at the Best Buy website and I can see myself buying and pre-ordering a bunch of Japanese games that used to be exclusive to like the PS2 and PS3, but not anymore.
But if you really want to make a popsicle stick's dreams come true, we aim for the max. But anyway, I've been watching RGT 85 right now. Now, I feel irresponsible telling you this. I don't want to hear about any local Targets or Walmarts broken into and then being traced back to my channel just because I gave you this info. Hell, RGT85 is so desperate, I kind of outright, jokingly of course, encouraged people to steal one for him, and he said he'd pay you a high price.
Maybe one falls out of the cage and somebody brings it home and they're like, well, I don't really want a Nintendo Switch 2, but I know RGT does, and I know he wants to get one early. So then you DM RGT, and you'll make, I mean, trust me, you will make good money selling me one of these early. I don't want you to get caught. I honestly don't want to know how you got it. That's none of my business. My business is trying to get my greasy mitts on one before everybody else.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Truth is, I would like some of that money myself, so where can I buy ski masks? I mean, I hate to be a bearer of bad news to RGT85, but if you pay that top dollar, as a matter of fact, if any of you are paying top dollar for early access to a Switch 2, I've got bad news for you. Well, good news for me because I like seeing Nintendo people suffer, but bad news for you guys because your tastes in gaming are quite literally for children. So expect to be treated like a child, which is exactly what Nintendo is doing to everyone. Earlier this month, we talked about how you're not gonna see day one reviews for the Nintendo Switch 2, and it's all entirely to be blamed on Nintendo themselves, as there's a day one patch that's supposed to be rolled out. Thing about this day one patch though is it basically makes your Nintendo Switch 2 a paperweight until the official release / launch.
All right. Feeling better? Okay, that's good. That's good to hear.
Stay of the console. A lot of people want to throw excuses out like, oh, Nintendo did this to ensure nobody could pirate or emulate the system. Reality is no.
I mean, that's become more of a common thing, day one patches on games or a console. We've seen it on the PS4, we've seen it on the Xbox, we've seen it on, Xbox Series S, Series X. So this is nothing new. It's just something you have to do. There's so much information, and sometimes you got to update stuff.
No, Nintendo did this so that there are no reviews or negative reports about any faulty systems at launch. That's why they did it. You really think Nintendo is doing this for a security measurement? It goes without saying, though, of course, nobody is supposed to have this device right now, but we didn't think it would be this bad. As we speak, Nintendo has far more control over the system you handed them money for than you do. You don't really own the Nintendo Switch 2 until Nintendo says you do. And even then, it comes with big restrictions. So you're probably wondering, what is the user experience like for those who actually have one in early access right now? What are the games like? What's the backwards compatibility? Is there Joy-Con drift? There's literally nothing to know. Nintendo locked the Switch 2. It needs update to function, so I am waiting for June 5th to unlock it.
Get what you fucking deserve.
Another person shared with me that they have a Nintendo Switch 2 as well. I have no permission to post pics, but I can share that when they try to boot a Switch 1 game, a message prompts, please connect to the internet and update your system. Needs update to boot a game. Whoa, hold on. Call me crazy, but didn't Microsoft catch flack for this with the Xbox One? Isn't this literally the thing that killed the Xbox One? A bricked paperweight that can't work out of the box without an internet connection? Why is Nintendo getting a pass on this? Now, I understand by today's standards.
I mean, gamers back then were, gamers, they're like, we don't want these TV shows and movies and all that. You know what? I want to go back and rewatch this Xbox reveal, because some of the stuff they talk about is some of the stuff we actually, 99% of people who buy a console don't play games. You know what they use it for? It's a Netflix box. It is a Blu-ray box. It is a let me watch and pick out on reality TV. That's all they do. Trust me, because the reason I know this is because I talk to my my cousins and I ask them, hey, do you play your PS5? I'm like, nah, man, I don't play my PS5. I mean, I might boot up 2K every once in a while. I'll play 2K, but if I'm not playing that, I'm just watching TV. I'm watching Netflix, watching Hulu, because that's what people do. I mean, that's what most adults do these days. They watch a TV show, they watch a movie, and then they talk about that. They don't really play games. The only people who play games are a very small niche of nerds like us who play games. All right. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, but unfortunately, gamers are not good at boycotts. Remember the Modern Warfare 2 boycott, Left 4 Dead boycott, Harry Potter boycott. Let's see, that type of stuff. Assassin's Creed Shadow boycott. That didn't work. So yeah, go fuck themselves.
That's quite normal. Most things require the internet. All gaming devices are based.
The owner, Netflix. English. Let's see, Dino Nuggets and ketchup. That's what they want, man.
Basically tethered to it. When it comes to systems like Xbox and PS5 or even PC gaming, file sizes are ginormous and require the internet. But when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2, we're finding out that most things are going to require the internet for it, even if the file sizes don't justify it. For instance, Street Fighter. We all thought that game was gonna come with all the DLC on the cart. It turns out people are finding out, no, the DLC does not come on the cart. You gotta go download it. Bravely Default, that ain't on your cart. Yakuza, not on the cart. Sonic X Shadows Generations, not on the cart. And the list goes on and on because, you know, these are physical carts that don't have the games on them. Like, we've gone over it a bajillion times. That means the Switch 2 is not as reliable of a portable device. It means you have to download everything at once before you leave with your Switch 2. Long gone are the days where a handheld meant it was that, a handheld. You put the carts in and you can play whatever the hell you wanted anywhere you went. Buying these games on the road would be a mistake practically. Well, yes, you know, the internet is available just about everywhere you go. By today's standards, this is not that big of a deal, but it was more than 12 years ago when gamers were in uproar over such an idea. Well, you know, rightfully so, because everybody back then knew what that meant. That meant there was a future where you don't actually own your physical media. And we're here. The predictions all came true. Xbox did start this trend, and Nintendo has decided to also do the exact same thing, but even greedier. Yes, I understand there's no mandatory online check-in, but with how frequent people's Nintendo Switches are connected online to download quote-unquote physical media that's not actually physical, you're already doing your daily routine. It's just amazing to me to see how far removed we are from a decade ago, where gamers outright ensured the Xbox One failed as a system to send the industry a message, and it clearly didn't work. This is something you didn't have to do with the Switch 1, by the way. Just letting people know. Now, this first batch of Nintendo Switch 2s will probably be the only ones that require this day one update. Anything manufactured afterwards will probably just work out of the box. If not, that's a measurement that's a little too far for even Nintendo, in my opinion. But once you receive the update, it will be the only update you need. Hopefully, anyway. It's crazy to me, too, how, you know, fanboys online are celebrating this. And their reason for it is because this way it ensures nothing is leaked. Like, what is going to leak? Don't go online looking for anything, for starters, if you don't want to be spoiled. And also, what is there to leak? Most of what's coming out for the Switch 2 is all multi-plat games that have existed everywhere else for years now. Are you really gonna miss out much on seeing what's in Mario Kart? There's nothing to leak. We already know Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD Remake aren't actually on a Switch cart, and that's a game key card. What exactly does Nintendo not want people to see for the next 9 days? Just unlock the damn things. They shouldn't even be here in the first place. It's honestly in consumer interest if the system was unlocked so people...
Hey, what? Let me see. Not really, because I've heard a lot about other states that unlock America. We gotta be more specific. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Could be doing analysis on ports, reviews on performance, you know, just letting consumers know more. I don't think any little small leaks out there are crucial to Nintendo, unless, of course, they're leaks for hardware defects and issues that could be happening, which Nintendo most certainly would love to silence.
Man. Look how bad this looks down here. Like you're playing online and you're screen sharing with your friends, and your friends are like going like 2 frames per second.
Nintendo most certainly would love to silence. To me, it's just outrageous that there are people out there paying scalping prices, taking this thing home, all excited, rubbing their hands together, only to find out they can't play it. And you get what you fucking deserve. No sympathy from me. Imagine paying $1,000 just to not be able to play this. In general, to me, the idea that there's hardware on the market already that can't be used until...
Well, at least the Wii U was a functioning console. I don't know if you needed to be online all the time. I don't know. I think that game was, you know, that console was pretty portable. You just pop into game disc or a cartridge or whatever, and you play games. It was very much like a Game Boy or a DS or DS Lite or one of those, you know, console handheld games you see, like the old PSP back in the day. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna from a sale point of view. Oh, like, it looks like it's already gonna do very well. Like people already love the Switch, and the Switch 2 is almost exactly like the Switch, so I think people are gonna buy it. It's not gonna be as confusing as the Wii and Wii U. Most people thought the Wii U was just an accessory. They didn't think it was a separate console, so it didn't do well. It didn't sell well. A lot of exclusive games on that console did not do well. They died, like that Star Fox game, and Wonderful 101 and all that shit.
So a company snaps its fingers together and officially goes online when they say so is wild. I mean, that is a very high level of control. Not that I think Nintendo is gonna abuse it, but this is the type of shit that gamers were actively against over a decade ago. Is there much to ponder about? Well, I don't know. That depends on the type of person you were a decade ago. Now, however, you probably don't view things that way. And that's actually perfectly acceptable to a degree. Accepting that games need internet connections and internet updates, that's reasonable. Accepting that a physical, or I mean, quote unquote, physical game cart needs the internet, that's not only e-waste, but also wallet waste. It's one of the most pointless steps in the industry, but it's a measure put in place to remove actual game ownership. One thing leads to another, but whatever, don't want to get into a whole slippery slope fallacy. But a world where your console must be connected 24/7, which the Switch 2 is not, but it's, just one step below that. A world like that means that console manufacturers can shut off your system whenever the hell they feel like it, and it means they can collect a lot more data on you. We're so far removed from where we were, like even 12 years ago, it's kind of insane.
Remember when everyone got mad at remember when everyone was so mad at the Kinect, because the Kinect was collecting data and sending it back to Microsoft, whether it be Kinect 1 or Kinect 2.0, and people hated that. People didn't like that. But now, unfortunately, people are much more okay with like selling off their information, their data to whoever. I'm not gonna lie, I've done that as well. Like, with my phone, or my Fitbit, you gotta agree to these things. Like, all right, you're gonna take, your data, how many steps I'm doing, how many calories I'm burning, my heart rate, things like that. I'm not happy with our country. Yeah, I'm not happy either, and I know why. I mean, unfortunately, I'm not, a political, commentator. I mean, I could talk about politics, but unfortunately, no one cares about it. So, yeah.
I guess this video is more of a reflection on how far we have shifted. But, things like this do make me think to myself, what if it is like this for every Switch 2 and not just the first batch? What if in years from now, after the console has been discontinued and Switch 2 servers go down, how are you supposed to actually activate one of these things? I wouldn't even attempt to tamper with the device to get it working ahead of Nintendo's planned release, because what happens if you do finally go through with the update and Nintendo notices you did that? Boop! Brick your console. That'll teach you. But whatever, it's just another day one patch that's been normalized after years of combating it. I don't know what to say to that. Hopefully the benefits of online connectivity outshine the negatives, but this is giving companies more and more control over what you've already paid for. Gonna be streaming Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific time. Be sure to be there. We're gonna have one hell of a show. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. On the road to 80K, and I'll see you in the next video.
Free Congo sucks ass.
Let's see. Click one reveal. "12 years ago."
And now, nearly 8 years after our launch.
Let's see. You and Hugh are gonna have a relationship. The fuck? Ah, yeah. Let's see. Funny enough. TV, movies, Blu-ray. Let's see, you know.
It's time for technology to step behind the curtain and for you and your entertainment to take center stage. Today, we're thrilled to unveil the ultimate all-in-one home entertainment system. The one with the power to create experiences that look and feel like nothing else. The one that makes your TV more intelligent. The one system for a new generation. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Xbox One.
And like the crazy part is everything about the Xbox One console is not that bad. I mean, okay, it may not have been the most powerful console, it's not as powerful as the PS4, but it's still a pretty decent console. You play games, play online, talk with friends. You have all the you go place your cable box with it. You do Netflix, you do Blu-ray, you do all those things. You do all those things with your current day console. And the crazy part is back then people hated it, but now it's like, you know, a given. Like, you know what? You know, it's fine. We love all that shit. Crazy. And like this console was way too ahead of its time. Great controller too. Like all I think like the Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S controls are so good. Way better than like the PlayStation.
This is it, Xbox One.
Alright, BRB.
This system is built to amaze on day one and
All right, let's see. Definitely not. Let's see. Parade. I heard everyone call date everything, but so wait, what? What's going on? Let me know, guys. Let's see. Let's see. Discussing entertainment integration was
certainly improved. And so for me, the Halo universe is an amazing opportunity to be at that intersection where technology and myth making meet to produce something really groundbreaking. And I'm incredibly excited about the great journey we're all on, the heroes, worlds, and wonders that Halo will take us on. Thank you.
We are really excited to bring the world of Halo to Xbox as a premium television.
Trying to bring more technology to improve the experience for fans in that stadium.
Microsoft over the last 30 years has brought great technology that empowers people around the globe. We're continuing that tradition with Xbox to bring new features.
Wait, are we on the Xbox Series S and PS6? I'm not following current consoles. No, let's see. Current consoles are the Xbox Series S/X. Alright, so yeah, current consoles are Xbox Series S and X, PS5, and PS5 Pro, and soon the Switch 2 coming out this month.
Features, new functionality to people using all the assets of the company.
So Don, how will this experience be better on the Xbox for NFL fans?
With Xbox, we're going to have exclusive content that we will use with Smart Glass, with Connect, with some of the innovations our creative teams are doing to bring fantasy football to life, to be able to interact with others, to do things using all the devices in your living room as you're participating with your friends. So it's going to be a really rich palette for us to create.
So it's going to be easier to play fantasy football with the device and a better experience.
Imagine your NFL team integrated with your large screen TV. This is going to be the first time with our partnership that Xbox and the NFL can bring a live broadcast and a real-time fantasy experience where people can see their fantasy leagues.
Oh, look at that. Think about that. Watching the NFL digitally, not on a cable box, not through Dish, but through online, through YouTube, through Amazon, and Hulu. Oh my god, it's almost like they predicted the future, like this was going to happen. But unfortunately, it was just 12 years too early. But now everyone takes it for granted. You know, you can watch your NFL, you know, whenever you want. You play, you know, fantasy football. You have your tablet with you or your smartphone with you. So yeah.
Stats snap to the broadcast. When your favorite player scores a touchdown, it updates your fantasy league status, and it will allow you to also reach out to your friends, make a Skype call, and openly taunt the success you're enjoying that your friends aren't. Using the combined assets that we have to make the stadium experience, to make the in-home experience great, that's what our opportunity is.
Well, when we look for partners, we look for the best. And from a technology standpoint, Xbox, Microsoft, there's no one better. Now fans are going to be able to experience football in a way they've never experienced it before. You're going to change the game.
Welcome back to another episode of DF Retro Extra, where we look back at conferences from E3 and beyond. This time, though, it's finally the moment of truth, the day of reckoning, if you will. This is the Xbox One reveal. And of course, as always, I am joined by my two wonderful colleagues, Richard Ledbetter.
Thank you, John. I'm not sure I should be thanking you, but here we go.
And of course, on the other side, we have Alex Battaglia.
Oh, I cannot wait to see this. I just saw Shavat Yearly, by the way. That's amazing.
Well, see, now you're excited. So, where do we start here, guys? I mean, this conference it's an important one for what happened in the industry, but it's also sort of a masterclass in how not to reveal a console.
It's total.
I mean, it is. It was really, really bad for Microsoft, but now looking back, like all the stuff they talk about is all stuff we use all the time. Like how many times? I mean, whether it be always online, digital games, moving away from physical media. Obviously having all your TV, Hulu, Netflix. You got your HBO Max. Yeah, all that's on your console, all that's on your smart TV. Like, people make fun of it, but now the hilarious part is if you walk into anyone's house, all this stuff is TV, Netflix, all that. Like, whether it be the game console, the TV, the laptop, the PC, the Mac, all of the smartphones, all of it's like that. They can make fun of it all they want, but they are literally doing what Microsoft and all them predicted they're going to do. You're going to be doing all that shit. So yeah. Ooh, this one sounds interesting. We tried Dutch snacks in fursuits. Let's try this one out.
Guys, welcome to to the YouTube video. Okay, easy. We're gonna be trying Dutch treats, everything from sweet to salty stuff to what else?
Yeah, hearty snacks. I think
hard snacks.
Name of it, I guess. Oven snacks.
Oven
fire snacks.
Yeah, I haven't tried. Okay, I think I haven't tried almost anything. So very excited. Are you guys excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yay! Okay, alright. Let's start. I don't know what to say. You
we
pick
do the hot food a little bit first, or at least start with the oven snacks.
Ooh.
What are we making? We're now making some what we call sausijzenbroodjes. They're like, I don't know, like sausage thingies. But we have two versions. The worstenbroodje, and this is the sausijzenbroodje. So they're kind of similar, but they're different. They get dry, used by
Yay!
Oh, no.
It's hard to hear them.
Oh no!
Oh no. Cut it open.
They're so adorable. Hey, it's our friends.
Like miniatures, so they're like perfect snack bites.
Do you know any of them? Oh, they're so adorable. Let's see. No, we guys love seeing furries. Okay, cool.
They're super yummy, trust me. And these go in the oven.
Jen, anything to say?
I'm excited for the oven time because, ovens are good, right?
Yeah. Now we wait.
There we go. We're ready.
So over here we
Is that like the
called a worstenbroodje, which is basically a translation for sausage bread. I guess.
I like sausage.
Try it. So look at that. Look. Exciting. Woo! There you
Let's go. Does it fit the head? We'll figure out. Or
everything fits inside your head, man.
Damn.
Sorry. Wholesome stream. Wholesome.
So I thought, maybe I should be a little bit more like wholesome. Wholesome. We love wholesome.
Wholesome.
Oh wow, I haven't seen him in forever. Majira Strawberry.
Oh, yummy. Ooh. Oh, that's really good. Oh, it's very soft. So why do you
I just wish it was a little bit easier to hear them. Yeah, like some type of subtitles, closed caption maybe.
Perfect for me because it's not extremely weird. It's just like soft bread, sausage.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Hey, we have a success already. Let's go, Mac. You want to try the next
Second one.
That's a sausijzenbroodje.
There you go.
That one.
There you go. Alright, let's go. I really like this one. Oh my god.
So it's like the same sausage, except it's in the, I don't know what I call that in English.
No, you're like the croissant dough, the croissant dough thingy.
Yeah. So that's a sizable.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm in love when breads have like this layer effect, like a lot of layers. Oh, this tastes very good.
Ooh, exciting. We
Oh,
like
approve.
So the little sausages are good.
Like
All
the
right.
true traditional Dutch snacks.
Yes.
The air fryer, usually deep fryer, but it's the same. They taste great, so
it's fine.
It doesn't get more Dutch than this. You cannot really get this anywhere else. Very Dutch, except I put the air fryer outside because it's smelly, but
That's perfect.
this is usually a deep fryer. If you're like Dutch, this should be a deep fryer. And then we
Yes.
throw these things into the deep fryer, but now we throw them into the air fryer. So, you know, same thing, blah, blah, blah. Ooh. Shake, shake.
That,
8 minutes.
that looks like something frozen out of the frozen section, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
That looks like something like.
It's like all these little mini snacks. This one is called a frikandel.
Of course. I've heard that.
And we have a little chicken nugget. You might as well throw in a little chicken nugget.
Nugget.
Chicken nugget. One I really want you to try because I'm really curious to see if you like this. Bami hapje. It's like noodles inside there. So
Noodles?
Noodles. And then the most famous out of all of them. You cannot go to the Netherlands without eating one of these. And that's the bitterball.
To not ruin the flavor, I'm gonna try the special one first. So, let's go. Let's eat. Oh, the warm. I am very sensitive.
What do you think?
Hopefully, they don't burn their mouths.
Oh my god, yeah. It's very nice. So far, I'm liking everything.
Oh, good. Oh, shit. The frikandel.
Creamy.
Man, I wish I knew how to make stuff like this. Like, man, like, see, this is why I need to get me like some. This is why I need to get myself a fursuit, or at least a fursuit head or something, man. I think that's what my goal. I should start saving up for that. All right, so I gotta stop spending money on shit. Hard not to, but maybe I got to.
Creamy in the deep. No, wholesome. Wholesome.
They're technically called mini snacks, but
No, average snacks. Oh yeah.
oh, they're nice.
I like everything.
Oh,
yes.
you like everything.
I like everything. Okay, let's go with the beautiful.
The beautiful balls. Put those balls in
Well,
your.
that's like a couple of days from now.
Good one, yeah. Yummy.
Oh, they're very good. What do they have on the inside?
There's like a ragu.
Mm-hmm.
With like some meat. But it's like ragu with like some strings of meat. That's the best way I can explain it without looking at Wikipedia. But yeah. Eat those. Alright, Max. Now we're like down to like sweets. It's a lot of sweets.
Sweet time.
Like a sweet doggo. So.
Yay! That's salty, right?
Yeah, that's salty. It's nuts and balls.
Oh yeah, I have to pick them.
Yeah,
That is very.
Max DNA is, you know.
The nut flavor.
Yeah, very nutty.
Flavor. We like that. No, we don't. We're wholesome.
Wholesome.
Oh, okay, that's decent. Okay, I want to pick one from each color.
So there's a little peanut inside the shell. That sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? Wow.
I prefer crunchy.
Yep, crunchy on the outside.
Well, I hope that you can get it done by this Friday.
Cocktail with peanuts on the inside.
Oh, wholesome. We're still wholesome. Good? Approved?
Yes. Very approved. So far, all the salty things approved.
Yes. All right, Max.
Okay. No, that was Jen.
Oh.
Jen, you pick.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's the thing I want to
What
let
is
you
that?
guys try. So this is with chocolate and what they then call marzipan.
I have to say, disclaimer, I'm not a big fan of marzipan.
I like it.
Are you? Okay, he likes it. Okay.
I'm not a big fan of marzipan either.
All the Dutch people looking at this, but yeah.
But this one looks good. This one looks better than most marzipans out there.
Yeah, it's not that bad. No, it's okay actually. Maybe I like marzipan after all. I don't know. Damn. No, you're gonna like it more, I guess. I do. Next snack.
Oh, should I pick some?
Yes, of course.
What to pick? I really want you to try this one. It looks super simple, but
I like simple. I'm a simple dog.
So
Yeah,
this is
look
called
at me.
an eierkoek. And then you eat it.
Okay. I like simple stuff. I'm a simple dog.
Simple?
Yeah.
Not too sweet.
Yeah. Not too sweet.
Nice and fluffy.
Looks like fluffy bread.
Your turn.
I will just close my eyes and grab. Okay. Oh. It's a mini.
Yeah.
Stole.
Stole? Mini stoletje.
Very promising. I like. It's a sugar, right? Like the white.
The white stuff is sugar. Yeah, that's powdered sugar.
I like everything that has powdered sugar on top is peak.
And then there's raisins hiding on top and inside the thing.
I hate raisins.
Huh.
Because then I'll cut it, and usually the good stuff is in the middle.
Always the good stuff is in the middle.
Butter.
I try.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, bread and raisins, that's pretty common.
Ooh, oh my god, with the butter. I really like it. On the butter on top. Yeah. Oh, the butter on top is so good. So far, I said I like everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that's great.
I'm not biased. I literally like everything.
Yeah. All right,
Jen.
Okay.
Alright.
No problem. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you're liking it. Hopefully, you and others are, enjoying this content. Whether it be, whenever, if I'm reacting to furry stuff or reacting to gaming or anime or whatever.
That's okay.
Ooh.
As well.
They have a little drawing on the thing,
Yes.
right?
They usually like windmills, something very Dutch usually, but usually windmills. Yeah. Still in your mouth.
Yes.
For you. Thank you.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's try.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
I have the whole cookie. I'll say that way.
Me too.
Oh yeah, you go. Okay.
I put it all. Yeah.
That took a while to eat.
One go. You were right. The almonds, they're very good. Yes. They fit the cookie very nicely. Okay, whose turn? You.
That looks like
You.
My turn.
That looks like a simple oh my god, it looks like a simple piece of cake. Contains oatmeal raisin cookies. Yeah, you know what's funny? Oatmeal raisin cookies aren't that bad, man. They're all right. I've had some.
Nice.
Of course.
Next to the bitter ball. Oh, you already know. It's me.
Yeah,
It's a waffle. It's a waffle.
Stroop waffles.
It's me.
And it's literally here.
Yay.
Stroop waffle, of course.
Yeah.
And this is a massive one. They usually come a little bit smaller, but this is quite a big one.
Let me. I stopped. I didn't say it.
We eat waffle. No, yeah.
Also.
Oh, I live on this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's great.
Yummy, yummy.
Very yummy.
I love
okay,
Stroop
my
waffles.
ADHD doggo brain has been looking at this since we started, and it's the little boxes with different colors.
Yeah. So this is called hagelslag.
Yeah.
Very, very Dutch as well. We put this on our bread for breakfast, and it's like chocolate sprinkles.
Oh,
we have
yeah.
the milk version, then we have the pure chocolate version.
Ooh.
We also have a fruity version, that's non-chocolate, but fruity. I love this one. And we need to introduce this one.
Oh, it's a combo
It's
thing.
a combo.
It's a combo.
It looks like this.
Yes.
It's very light, very fluffy.
Yes.
And then we
Preparation time.
preparation time. I know how to butter things. Oh, wholesome.
Also.
With the sprinkies on it.
Yes.
Oh, look, it's
And the owner puts like a bit of butter on his dog with that. And the dog just keeps looking. And the guy goes like, "Burger dog with the butter on it."
yeah, see if you can find it.
There it goes.
There you go. Hopefully. Oh, hell yeah. I would have loved this as a kid too, yeah. Definitely.
So now you have traditional hagelslag, traditional beschuit with butter. How is the combo?
It's very good. And I can imagine as a kid. As a kid, I love like butter on like bread and then like sugar on top. This is like that, but better. Let's go. What are we picking?
Dude, I think it's time for like using the spoon.
Oh,
Oh,
that liquid stuff.
yes.
It looks like orange juice, but it's probably not orange juice.
No, I think the best way I can describe it is like custard or like yogurt, but
yeah.
thicker.
Limited edition. Look, it's limited edition.
Oh, it's thick.
Oh, it's very thick.
Reminds me.
Yes.
Nothing.
Awesome.
Wholesome. Thank
I would
you.
say a small spoon, so we got spilling everything.
100% gonna touch the spoon. Oh,
That's very good.
oh, that's nice. It's not extremely sweet, which
No,
I
it's not,
like,
yeah.
which I really like. It's very refreshing. The spoons are touching. We're touching spoons.
Alright, since we're still kind of on the breakfast mode, in that very Dutch, which we call ontbijtkoek. Literally translated breakfast cookie.
Okay.
There you go, Max Puppy.
Yes. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yes.
It's like sticky in your, like,
In my insides.
What? Awesome.
Sticky in your mouth?
In my mouth.
In his mouth? Okay, well.
No, that's worse.
If nothing happened, it's very wholesome video.
This is a wholesome video.
Yeah.
There you
I like pink.
So this is what we call Holzer koek, which literally translates into what you just mentioned, pink cookie. Barbie pink.
It is Barbie pink, yes.
Holzer koek.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's very nice.
And I want to see these guys react to, man, dude, they should try to react to like Indian snacks. Oh man, we have a lot of good biscuits. We have a lot of cookies and wafers. We've had our own potato chips and like potato stick chips And, oh man, we have some really good shit. I mean, I would love to. I would love to send them some stuff, man. Oh well, man. I wonder if I can meet them. I'll take them to. I'll drive their asses to a fucking Indian grocery store. Like, all right, let's pick some shit out, man. Indian Pakistan grocery store. We'll pick some shit out.
The pink glazing. The pink glazing.
Yes. I like it because it's very simple, with like the glazing on top, very soft, perfect. Yeah. I need to clean my tongue.
I don't have any. Anyone you recommend?
Pick the ones you said you don't.
Well, I don't really know the names off the top of my head. I just kind of know what they look like. Like, if you, because I know what they are. Like, because sometimes they like I don't know. Sometimes the names are in English. Some of them are in Urdu or Hindi. I just know how they look. Really, it's one of those things. If I take you there, I can grab some stuff. I mean, it's different with sweets, like Indian Pakistani sweets. I can tell you a bunch of those.
Like, might be the only thing that you might not like.
Okay.
Try to pronounce it. I want to hear you guys pronounce this.
Rap.
Rap is good. Cookies.
Oh, okay.
Goodies. Yeah.
Goodies. Really good. There's a word there that makes me.
What does it mean? Semen, semen.
Semen.
Semen. Wholesome.
No, that's a salmon delen. But if you then say semen delen, that would be very bad. Because delen means sharing.
Oh! Open there.
Yeah.
So you don't want to pee?
For
the video.
Use. I mean, it is chocolate, yes. What is this other taste?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh, true. What?
I really don't like this chocolate.
That's weird.
It's gonna be weird. I think I kind of like it. I think I could.
Yeah. Well, if you like it that much. Open your mouth, Matt. There.
Yeah, open up.
Okay. They're good.
Last three
Let's
items.
try something that I really like then out of these 3 items left. So this is like a crispy biscuit with a coffee glaze.
Coffee glaze?
Coffee glaze. Like, these are nice.
Let's see. I retrieve gold. Shine. Oh, the cookie is extremely crunchy.
Yes.
I like the coffee layer. It's really good.
Yeah, it's not like really strong in the coffee, but it's nice balance. Ooh, more stuff that you guys like.
Yeah, final two. Pastoine?
Yeah. Pastoine.
Alright.
This is like breakfast cereal?
Yes, go first.
Thank you.
Or biscuit.
Ooh. Yeah?
With yogurt?
No, but
Like putting them in milk? I would say yogurt because it's more like acid in some way, like the yogurt. And these are sweet, so that mix.
the last one.
Pink. Now this is going to be very interesting to eat. So just look at that. Look at that glaze. Look at that shine.
Very shiny.
Oh.
Wait.
I
Got
have
two
here.
pieces there.
So this is called a tompouce.
Oh, you showed me there was like a Wikipedia article on how to eat it.
There's actually a Wikipedia article on how to traditionally eat this. So you usually take off the top first, and then you leave that a little bit on the side. Try the inside first.
Gotta do it quick because it's gonna fall.
Yep. Oh shit, does it?
Oh yeah, the inside is like the baker's cream, yeah.
Baker's cream. Yeah.
Go. You look
Such a
so
big
funny on
mouth.
camera. Good
Very
cream.
good cream.
We love cream, guys. Oh,
Wholesome. Alright, I want the top now.
Try the pink.
Of course you do.
Wholesome.
Wholesome. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's very good.
Okay, I can understand
Very
why you
The
want
big
to
finale. I like this.
want to separate that and have less as for the end, for the finisher, because well,
Yeah. It
Yes.
was a dessert technically, so
yeah.
I like almost everything. Everything, I would say. There's not a single thing that I didn't like.
Nice. Pick one of everything we just ate. One that stands out. You're like, that's the one.
Something I would eat, I have it quite clear. Like the beer bowl.
Yeah.
Oh my
Bitterballs.
God, I would
Yeah.
snack
Bitterballs.
that.
What about you, Jen?
I would just say from the salty snacks, I would eat like a lot of what was the name of the first thing we tried?
The noodles.
The noodle one.
The noodle one. The bami up.
The bami up.
Bami up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a close second.
I was a snack.
Yes. Challenge complete. We tried Dutch food and I really liked it. Now you have to hug the waffle dog in the middle.
Yeah, thank you guys for visiting and eating these things.
Yes, it was great.
Like, subscribe, ding dong that notification bell, something like that.
There you go.
How's that for an outro?
Perfect. I think it's great. Woof. Bye-bye.
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 So cute. Yep. Let's see. I want. Whoops, not snakes. Snacks. Furry act is crazy. Let's see. How long is the stream going? About almost an hour. Hour 40. Let's see what else can I react to. I try to keep it to 2 hours, unless it's not good. Let's see. South Carolina. What happened in South Carolina?
Folks, we are getting some breaking news out of South Carolina, where a special election that was just held in South Carolina's 50th State House District has just concluded with the Democratic candidate defeating the Republican candidate by over 41 points. Democrat Keyshawn Scott defeated the Republican candidate William Odin by 41 points in a district that former Vice President Kamala Harris won by only about 5 in 2024. So about a 36-point overperformance by the Democratic candidate Keyshawn Scott in this state house district, the 50th state house district. Yep, with 100% of the results reporting, Keyshawn Scott, 24 years old, wins in a 41-point blowout and heads to the South Carolina House of Representatives over William Odin. A big, big deal. Folks are talking about the 41-point overperformance, but very few folks are putting a face to the name. Take a look, everybody, as Paolo Cremita says, of Representative-elect Keyshawn Scott. He's a pro-choice young rural candidate, and that's what wins. This is how we outrun and how bold politics can defeat fascism. We're getting word from the leader of the DNC, Ken Martin, who...
Let's see. I mean, so far we know he's just pro-choice. Well, hopefully, you know. Well,
who's been commenting on a lot of these big Democratic overperformances in the recent special elections across the country. Ken Martin writes, congratulations to Keyshawn Scott on his landslide victory and massive overperformance tonight in South Carolina. Tonight's results are a reminder that voters are siding with strong Democratic leaders who will fight for working families across the country. The South Carolina Democratic Party wished a major congratulations to Keyshawn Scott on winning the 2025 special election for the South Carolina House District 50 at just 24 years old. Representative Scott is bringing fresh energy and bold leadership to Lee, Sumter, and Kishore.
so he was born in 2001. Because it's 2025, so he's born in 2001. So he's born during 9/11. So he grew up with like the Iraq War, Afghan War, Obama, financial crisis, saw Trump, saw Biden, and I saw Trump again.
Counties. Let's go, Keyshawn. Hashtag South Carolina Dems. Now, I'll give you just a little more background about this House district. So voters in parts of Sumter, Lee, and Kershaw counties went to the polls Tuesday to select a new representative for South Carolina House District 50 in a special election. The race featured Republican William Odin and Democrat Keyshawn Scott. Odin is a retired U.S. Air Force member, while Scott currently serves on the Bishopville City Council. The seat became vacant back in January when the former representative William Wheeler abruptly resigned from office to take a new job. Wheeler had represented the district for 8 years and had just won re-election in November 2024 after facing no opposition in the primary or general election. Under state law, a primary and then a special election had to be held to fill this seat. Let's learn a little bit more about Keyshawn Scott. Now the representative-elect for House District 50 in South Carolina, a young minister from Bishopville running in the special election in June to protect a Democratic seat in the South Carolina House. Scott learned the importance of serving others as a kid while volunteering at a local senior center during his summer breaks. He's now grown into a dedicated public servant who works to uplift all members of the community. And if Keyshawn wins his bid for the South Carolina House, he is committed to improving life for working families by pushing for progress on issues like access to quality health care and public education. Let's take a listen to Keyshawn.
Hello. Hello there. Let's see. Hello there. Good to see you again.
On Scott, here's what he has to say. Play this clip.
So I would say some of the biggest needs as far as District 50 definitely directly relates to our need for workforce development, our need for access to healthcare, our need for improving the quality education that we provide to the students, and then also just making sure that we're able to continue to sustain and even help to further grow our infrastructure and development in District 50.
Now, folks, we've been focusing on Democratic overperformances, MAGA Republican underperformances throughout the country. For example, on March 25th, 2000.
That dog Coda. Not familiar with the name. I'll have to look up and see how he looks. Let's see. All right, see you later. I hope you have a nice night. Let's see. Let's look this person up. Oh, yeah, wait. I've seen him. Yes. I've seen him on Twitter, YouTube. I think I follow him on TikTok and all that. I think he's also on, I think he has a Twitch channel too. Yeah, he does. I don't know if you sat down and watched this stuff on you Twitch. I always miss it. Like I end up missing a lot of people's content. But he seems like a pretty cool, interesting guy. I mean, so far I've not seen anything wrong. He has a very cool fursuit, and he loves, showing off his paws. Sorry. Oh, just talking about this one fursuiter / like Twitch streamer. His name is already in the chat. It's Dat Dog Coda. And so no, I don't think so. I've not met him. I've seen him online, but that's it. Never met the guy. I mean, unfortunately, I'm not that well known, and unfortunately, I have a bad habit of missing a lot of people because I, know, at the last con at TFF, I miss Mango Foxy. I think Mint Tiger. I think it was Mint Tiger or Mint Foxy. I think it was Mint Tiger. I missed him. I was in the background footage of one of Finn the Panther's video. I literally walked by him. All if I just moved my head, I would have seen him and I could have talked to him. But no, I missed him. I ended up missing a lot of people. Like he's a well-known furry fursuiter. He's well-known on Twitch and all that. So
2025, we reported Democrat James Malone defeated the Republican County Commissioner Josh Parsons in the special election for Pennsylvania's Senate District 36, flipping a district Trump carried by 15.4% in the 2024 election, a huge upset for the Democrats. And I don't think it was really the last time was like the 19th century where a Democrat won in that area in the Pennsylvania Senate District 36. You take a look at the State Senate District 35 in Iowa. In the first special election since Donald Trump took office, Democrat Mike Zimmer, back on January 28th, 2025, defeated the Republican Katie Elizabeth Whittington to flip Iowa's State Senate District 35, a district Donald Trump won by 21 points in the November 2024 election. New York Senate seat 22 special election that was held on May 20th, 2025. Democrat Sam Sutton won this Senate special election seat. Trump won this district last year by, let me check, Ted Lieu says, 55 points. Also going to Omaha, Nebraska, the longest serving Republican incumbent mayor who won by 20 points in 2021, lost her seat to the Democratic candidate, the mayor-elect Ewing Jr. over there in Omaha. The Democrat won. The commonality that we're seeing with all of these races is we have a Democrat who is running on issues that matter to people, on healthcare, on infrastructure, on jobs, on housing, on women's reproductive rights, on equality, on the climate, not afraid to talk about these issues. And you have all of these Republicans running on culture war issues. For example, in the Omaha, Nebraska mayoral race where the MAGA Republican candidate lost, we saw the MAGA Republican candidate focusing on bathrooms and peepees and vagina, like stuff where voters are like, just stop it. Just treat freaking people with the respect that treat human beings with decency and focus on the issues that matter. There, the Democrat who won was focusing on roads. We need to fix our roads. We need to make our electric grid.
It said that we had to focus on roads. I mean, a lot of politicians say supposed to focus on roads or education or security or jobs or whatever, but none of them really ever talk about reforming education. If I was running, I would if I was gonna change let's say here in the state of Texas, if I'm gonna change the education system, I'm going to copy what Japan has. All right, copy how Japan does public education. You have a lot of entrance exams to get into entrance exams, cram schools, entrance exams to get into colleges and all that. It's very hard, very tough. You also gotta wear nice school uniforms.
Work. We need a functioning government. I think this is all an important lesson for Democrats heading into the midterms in 2026. So much of what corporate media wants to talk about, corporate news wants to talk about, are all of these narratives that people aren't talking about themselves at their kitchen tables, in their homes, in their apartments. It was Senator Bernie Sanders who said this to me, and it was so important. I want to leave you all with this. He said, been the most important issues confronting the American people are often the issues that are least discussed on the news and least discussed in public. We need to speak to those issues. We need to talk about why we need to tax the rich more, why everybody deserves health care for free, why everybody deserves a cheap and affordable or free education, why everybody who works a job should not have to face the psychological torture of living paycheck to paycheck, that they can afford to buy a house. They could afford their rent. They're not worried they're going to have to make a decision about whether they pay their rent or feed their kids. We need to talk about the issues of climate. We need to talk about these issues of women's reproductive rights. We need to talk about equality and not run away from it and act like, oh, DEI. Yeah, heck yeah, we like diversity. Heck yeah, we want equality and equity and inclusion. This is a melting pot. This is the United States, damn it. And don't let these MAGA bullies tell you otherwise. Be proud about your values. And we're seeing it. The results show when you stand by your convictions. We're seeing it over and over again. Congratulations to Democrat Keyshawn Scott, who won.
Alrighty then, so that's some good news. I want to check this video out.
This is Jonathan Ferguson, the keeper of firearms and artillery at the Royal Armouries Museum in the UK, which houses a collection of thousands of iconic weapons from throughout history. And I'm your host, Dave Jewett, and today we've booked a room at the Continental as we're checking out the weapons from the original John Wick.
Oh, there's that flick. I mean, needless to say, the weapons handling in this is superb. I still prefer it over the later movies where he's clearly even more skilled. This just, for me, is a perfect blend of, what would the ultimate mob enforcer / hitman be like?
While also soothing some of the psychic damage caused by our recent April Fool's video.
What the fuck? Oh god, Skiing Seagal.
If you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on next week's episode. But without further ado, I'll throw it over to Jonathan.
I could cleanse the palate with some proper John Wick. Got the t-shirt on as well. This chest. So I only recently learned. I was chatting with the guy from Hollywood Guns on YouTube because he was doing the HKP P30L John Wick custom model, which are two of which are in this case. I don't know if they ever plan to have him go akimbo because there are two of both pistols. I think that's just a backup thing. I can't ever see, as crazy as John Wick gets later, I can't ever see them intending to do the old Desperado thing. But we have two of those, and we have two Glock 26s, which we'll come back to. In terms of in-universe, obviously the idea is he's a retired hitman, and he has retired, so he's concreted it into the floor, so he isn't tempted to go doing more killings. Except he's back, as we know. Finger on the trigger there as he picks the weapon up. I remember noticing that the first time, thinking that doesn't look as professional as Keanu clearly is. Then again, when you're this good, maybe we can make an exception. Also, he is about to go and kill people, so there is that. Now, I remember thinking, at first, I think, what's that? That's an unusual looking pistol. Very movie-like with that extended front. And that is a custom compensator that was designed and made for the film. And like a lot of John Wick fans, I think it's a bit of a shame that we never came back to this pistol. It sort of makes sense story-wise as to why he no longer has it. I mean, needless to say, the weapons handling in this is superb. I still prefer it over the later movies where he's clearly even more skilled and more practiced. This just, for me, is a perfect blend of, what would the ultimate mob enforcer / hitman be like? And it's just, he could just as easily be the Punisher, that level of hyper real. He does martial arts, close-up work. It's like the stuff we saw from Equilibrium and The Matrix and stuff, turned up to 11, and then they turn it up to 2011. That wasn't deliberate in the sequel. But this is still my favorite, will always be my favorite. And I think the P30L with the compensator is somehow perfect for the film. It's questionable as to whether that's the ideal choice for someone like this. It's longer, a bit harder to conceal. The HKP30, generically, Great choice. They went for the full size, and then they made it double full size with the, I believe, if I'm remembering Hollywood Guns video on this correctly, a faux compensator originally. Don't think we ever see flash out the ports on the top. So I guess in universe, the idea is he wants the full length barrel and slide, because he's not doing red dots at this point. So he wants that for the maximum sight radius, to use his exceptional abilities to the maximum.
Well, I hope you're able to go to sleep.
And then he's extending the, well, I guess primarily what matters.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe, is this too loud? I don't know. Maybe turn it down a little bit.
The most about the compensator in theory is he's keeping his muzzle flipped to a minimum so he can run. He doesn't outpace the gun with his grip, trigger control, whatever else. If you are this almost superhero level of skilled when it comes to pistol craft, then maybe a compensator makes sense. Not the last time we see a compensator in John Wick. Now, transition to the Glock 26. I think in 2015 when I saw this, I was perfectly happy with that. An obvious choice perhaps, but a reasonable one. Nice and compact, a little bit thick maybe, but a good backup option. If you had any reliability concerns over the HK, which I don't think in the scheme of things there are, then something as reliable as a Glock makes a good backup. It sort of also indicates he isn't about brand. He's not being sponsored. He chooses what he thinks is best. So he's got two different pistols from two different manufacturers. Given the amount of shooting he does, having two pistols on you does make sense. I don't think he's packing all four in this scene. It would have been a bit too Matrix, I guess, if he was New York reloading every 5 seconds. And I've been wittering here, but one of the few John Wick firearms that we do have in the collection, because it is really very fashion conscious, cutting edge, even from 10 years ago, to the point where we don't have most of it. We do have several of the Glock 26, and I think his is a Gen 3. I've not checked. Big problem, and you can see it in the clip here, is he hasn't got the extended magazine base plate, which we do have, but I forgot to pick up, that gives you somewhere to put your pinky. A lot of leverage comes from the pinky finger that you're missing with this, but unlike the tiny Browning that we covered on our channel the other week, this at least gives you 2 fingers and a thumb, which is enough grip to control this thing. I think for me, the Glock 26 in film, I immediately think of John Wick and I think of Black Widow, the Marvel movies, who has 2 of these on her hip. That's a cold, intense brutality, the Mozambique drill there to ensure that guy is definitely not going to be a problem. That draw is awesome. You know, he's practiced that a hell of a lot. That's a good view of this compensator. So I think that for a lot of us who love this film, this is an iconic setup, but it is not fully integrated into the design, if that makes sense. Looking at this again more recently, I never realized that there's Picatinny rail on the bottom of the compensator. It doesn't line up. This profile view shows you very clearly that the height of the compensator is less than the combined height of the slide and the dust cover on the pistol, so they're at different heights. Not necessarily a problem.
Anyone else here a fan of the John Wick films? I love all the John Wick movies. I kind of want to rewatch them. Just need to sit down and do it.
Bigger problem is hanging stuff off a compensator, which he doesn't do anyway. This is really for looks. It has become part of the look of modern tactical firearms, whether or not you're using it for anything. And John doesn't.
I haven't seen any of them.
Just about
Go watch them. They're amazing. They're amazing, good action movies. There's 4 of them. They're great. They're awesome. Enjoyable. You know, it's if you like the old, action movies from like the 80s and early 90s, like if you're a big fan of Die Hard, stuff with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stallone, and all that type of stuff, you'll like it.
Yeah, there's something about the proportions here that is a wider trope of cinema at this point. Think Leon, the professional, with his Beretta nightclub. I think we can see from the flash there that we're just getting the typical exaggerated, somewhat exaggerated Hollywood muzzle flash, nothing out the top. And a lot of the muzzle flash in this, as Corridor have dealt with as well, is CGI'd, because up to a certain distance you can't use forward venting blank firing conversions. So they didn't use airsoft. There's a common misconception that they used airsoft. They might have used it for blocking shots or for stunt. So there we go. Got Browning high power there. We have a ton of those. So there we go. Got Browning high power there. We have a ton of those.
I want a Browning high power.
It's fairly generic, but it's of the character's era. He is, if not retired, then later in his Hitmanning career, and he's got arguably. I mean, I wouldn't call it an obsolete pistol, but it's an older design for sure. You've only got 13 rounds in the magazine. It's heavy. It would make a lot more sense to have something like a Glock. Now, of all of the kind of Hollywood tropey cleaning my gun because I'm a badass and I need to illustrate that by cleaning my gun scenes that I've ever seen, this is probably the best. Does he really need to give his pistol another clean before he goes out and maybe uses it? No, not really. I'm sure it was already good to go. But people do have little rituals, and he doesn't do anything dumb with it. You know, he isn't there with a toothbrush scrubbing the slide or something. A lot of times an actor is told to do something and not given the full reason why, or you can always tell they've been through a boot camp at TTI or anywhere else. You can tell because they've got a casual familiarity with firearms that you only get with time and hands-on. And I do get that from this.
You touched on the exact reason why I wanted to include this gun, because the first John Wick film especially does weapon casting very, very well. And that's something that you've brought up in the past. So, like you said, we've got the high power here, but then a little later...
Two high powers.
Two high powers. when one isn't quite powerful enough. Later... Miss Perkins is using a suppressed Walther P99, and Harry has a snub-nosed Colt Python. And you see these older characters and younger characters using older weapons and, you know, contemporarily. Younger, newer weapons. It wasn't something that I really appreciated until I came back to the films for this, that... yeah, they've done a tremendous job at casting the weapon to the character.
I think so. Again, you can always tell when there's no care or thought given, or the armourer just hasn't been properly involved in the process and they give what they anticipate will be a good choice, and it doesn't really work. I don't think I have any major thoughts about this. I think they all make perfect sense or are justifiable, and you know, it's what we see in reality. You know, I always loved in Brooklyn Nine-Nine that I think even beyond what would have been realistic, actually, Captain Holt keeps his old 38 snub nose on his hip, even though his detectives have all got Glocks or whatever. I suspect someone at the NYPD said, oh yeah, Captain kept his for longer than he should have or whatever.
I mean, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but now is not the time to go all John Wick.
Who's that? A friend of yours?
I wish.
You do still sometimes see in maybe in more rural police departments in the US, you will still see the old big iron on the hip. What he's done with the second high power, I'm not sure. Because again, we don't see him shooting two guns while jumping through the air. And we have the rifle there, so that's a takedown version of this. So we do have roughly the right Ruger Model 77 here. It's not that right because, well, clearly there's a scope missing, which I'll explain in a moment. And he has it's takedown, so you know, quick detach. Split it in half for compact carry, perfect for an assassination type setup. So this doesn't have that, and this is also a fairly nice wooden stock, whereas Willem Dafoe's character has got a less flashy polymer stock. But this is the barreled action at least, and actually, as I often do with a bit of stealth education on the collection here, this is an ex-British police rifle. I don't have any details right now on that. Hopefully going to go away
I did not know
and
that.
capture that information while the people that had it are very much still alive. That's why there's no scope. So often when police very kindly donate their former weapons to us, they are obliged to remove accessories if they're going to be of use on the next system. So an expensive quality bit of glass that would have been in these rings has been taken off and put on whatever they bought next. Is this the preferred sniper rifle of a hitman? I don't know. It's as valid as anything else, and it's more good weapon casting, I think. This is the sort of thing that hints at a personal preference for the brand or the model in particular. But it's not just a hunting rifle. I don't think he's gone for something that has a little tactical edge to it with the polymer stock. Now, Willem Dafoe in this film is closer to the age John Wick was supposed to be in the script. There's much more of a nobody vibe in the original script. Keanu was a good 10 years or more younger and more fit and able to do the gun fu stuff that we love so much. So I think it was the right choice. Marcus is our sort of stand-in for the original John Wick, if you like, in a way.
So that shot there, where he's perched over the railing, this is something that Chris pointed out to me, actually.
It's flipped. They flipped the shot round.
Oh.
It's suddenly turned into a left-handed bolt, which obviously it wasn't before.
Good catch. I did notice. Oh yes, he's got a case of the Ian McCollums going on. How did I never notice that?
I suspect that is just to make the geography of the shots make a bit more sense. You know, they're quick enough shots that they hope no one would notice.
But we noticed. Oh, you noticed?
Yeah.
You noticed. This is, although I haven't seen this for about a good 5 years, I would say. So I'm going to try and go easy on myself. But I have seen this at least half a dozen times, and I've never noticed that. And I'm normally, as you know, all over that kind of thing. I'm going to put that down to this being such an engaging scene and such a quick shot, as you say, that you don't notice. But yeah, good catch. Good bolt catch. No, that's atrocious.
I'm editing this one. That's staying in.
Please. Oh no. I need to be more careful.
Hey, John.
Good old P99. Do like it. Only fired it once, I think. It's a little static there. Doesn't move around very much. Equally hard to simulate recoil. You see actors do it sometimes. It doesn't. Maybe with the exception of Dirty Harry, doesn't usually work that well. And if you do it with a semi-automatic or automatic weapon, it can jam. So they typically don't do it. We always think of John Wick 2 with the crazy pew pew sound, silencers and no one noticing. But I don't think the sound is any worse than the sound in the first movie, which is very old school pew pew. So John has taken the P99. I think it's a first generation P99. It went through a few changes and then it morphed into the PPQ, and we have other pistols since. But the P99 for me is a classic for that very organic ergonomic grip that it had, which it got arguably better over time. But depending on your hands, if it fits, it's great. It's like a Olympic target pistol. And of course, the P99 is like iconic for Bond fans.
Thank you.
Of course, it's a movie, so hitting someone with the butt of a polymer frame pistol in the top of the head knocks them out harmlessly.
Like KSG.
The Keltec. KSG.
Yep.
12. I would normally have maybe criticised this as a bit implausible, but you know, as well as the heightened reality of the gang underworld high table stuff that John's involved with, well, they're all in theory a bit of a retcon, I suspect, but they're all involved in the same world. So there are some slightly esoteric choices. Would you want that as a tactical shotgun in this world? Discuss.
Prio.
So this is the Desert Tech, is it not? Yeah, so a bolt-action bullpup precision rifle. I think it's a good choice. You know, it's compact by default. It's got a lot of power behind it. He doesn't need rapid fire because he's that good, even though he's engaging at distances where a semi-auto would be fine. And yet, more variety. You know, we've got a lot of different makes and types of firearm in this movie.
Miss Perkins, your membership to the Continental has been by thine own hand revoked.
I remember this, even from the first, this scene made me raise an eyebrow. I haven't ever tried to plot it out in top down, but it struck me as really dangerous to all be shooting in a circle at somebody standing in the middle of a circle. That doesn't seem sensible. Even if you're all slightly offset so that your firing lines don't, you haven't got a direct crossfire. Bullets can do slightly weird things sometimes, and if it deflects off at a slight angle, and yeah, cinematically it looks really cool, and you get that almost sort of priesthood vibe of these. It's one of the early hints that there's some kind of almost cultiness going on with this whole high table setup. But I think at this stage, most of that wasn't really thought of.
You realize I can't leave until you put the grenades back, right?
Oh, but you let John Wicks have grenades.
It's Wick. Singular.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did,
Alrighty then. Unless you guys want to watch me to watch anything else, like you have any other, yeah, anything else. Let's see, anything else that might be good. Let me know. I'm just reacting whatever I feel like it. Franchise, Valkyrie profile, Mission Impossible. We just did John Wick. Let's see, anything else that's good? If not, that might end the stream. I definitely need to finish up, or at least play more of the smoke room. Like, I started again, like I redid, you know, William's Path, and I was gonna go through it. So, you know what, I'm gonna do that. Fuck, that's not what I wanted. End the stream. There you go. Good night. Hopefully you guys are enjoying yourselves and having fun. Please, if you're able to share my content with other people, like if someone can make, like, you know, simple compilation, that helps out. Like that's how a lot of stuff, you know, gets out. So let's see. Let's see. Derp music. Let's see. He's playing Wild Assault. Or should I go with someone else? How about Cyberclowns? Check this guy out. They're playing Elden Ring. That new Elden Ring game. Let's check them out and see what else can we do. What else can we enjoy? Hopefully I'm able to, you know, come back, play more video games, but also do some other stuff. Hopefully this month, you know, I can finally, you know, start saving up for my partial fursuit, you know, start taking, you know, lessons when it comes to firearms, and learn how to get good at them, and, you know, start collecting them, things like that. Hopefully you guys can help me out. Hopefully maybe in 2025, you know, I can average, you know, 10 plus people by the end of Thanksgiving. That's my goal. So see you later, guys, and goodbye. Please help me. Please promote me. Please share my content and stuff like that. Thank you guys so much, and goodbye.
At Apartments.com, we go above and beyond to make renting easier on every single level. Here we go. Giving renters detailed guides on a neighborhood level, apartment community level, and unit level, allowing you to see the exact unit that you're going to be living in. But we didn't stop there. We've got renting down to the cellular level. Closer, closer. Wow. Hey, little guy. Apartments.com. The place, to find a place.
What a hotel. Right? And only $250 a night for my favorite site. What?
You didn't check Trivago.
I got mine for $155. You have to check Trivago. Oh yeah? Prove it.
On Trivago, you can compare hotel prices from multiple different sites, even your favorite one. Look, same
But since I used to be a DJ and my version of history is unfiltered, this other question they had falls a little more into my dumpster.
Save up to 40% hotel.
Based off story. That's actually a big match and only the best. Okay, so first of all, it's two accessible bathroom stalls.
I have this idea, so in honor of Pride Month, here's a little skit I like to call.
Let's say if you got a throwing weapon at me, thank you. I'll get Ryko. You